everyone, welcome back to my kitchen. It's Nancy again, and I know I've taken some time off. It's been summer, it's been really nice weather, and getting back to work, everything's been really busy, and haven't made a video in a long time. So now with the new fresh autumn weather upon us, sweater weather, I'm kind of excited to get back into the kitchen and into my fall recipes. I don't know about you, but I am craving soups and fall comfort food. So today I thought what better day to make my most favorite fall dish, and that's cabbage rolls. So these are my mom's recipe. They are unique to a lot of different ones that I've seen online. Unique to my family, my mom's creation. And in my opinion, my family's opinion, the best cabbage rolls. Of course I'm going to say that, it's my mom's recipe, but honestly guys, I've tasted a lot of recipes and a lot of people who profess that they have the best cabbage roll going. I beg to differ. These are the best. So I'm going to share that recipe with you here today. So I'm just going to cap up the ingredients for you. Here I have a package of ground pork, not beef, not veal, pork. And I've gone ahead and steamed a small, you can't control the size of the cabbage. This was a smaller cabbage. I don't know how many I'm going to get. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe I will get about 18 or 20 cabbage rolls, which I guess is a pretty decent size cabbage. The density was pretty good, but the leaves are small, so they're going to be smaller rolls, which is totally fine. They'll cook quicker. In here we have a jar of La Molisana passata. It's not my tomatoes, that is what's in this jar, is the passata tomatoes. We have 1.5 cups of long grain rice. This is not parboiled, it's not minute rice, it's long grain original rice. I have 1 cup of diced onion, some paprika, some salt, and in here I have pepper, parsley, and garlic. I have 1 teaspoon of parsley, 1 teaspoon of black pepper, and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic. So we're just going to go ahead and start softening our onion. So we want to put a generous amount of oil in our frying pan. And we will put the light on. And we'll get that going. So when we get to the heart of the cabbage, we start getting pieces that don't make sense. And this is not to be thrown away. What my mom's trick is to shred it, cut it very finely, and soften it in with our onions. So a lot of people, and my kids included for many years, would take the filling out of the cabbage because they insisted they didn't like cabbage. And they would just eat the filling and not the leaves. But little did they know, there was cabbage shred into the filling. So they were eating cabbage regardless. I've never seen anyone else do this. I think this was my mom just being a genius and tricking us kids. But it's so good, I wouldn't even make my cabbage rolls any other way. I'm going to use the really hard stuff. So this is all going to get cooked down into our filling. Our filling is raw, which is another unique feature to our recipe. A lot of people pre-cook the filling. We do not. And these cook so long in the oven, there really is no need to pre-cook your filling. These take about 3 hours in the oven. If your filling's not done, you got a problem. So we've never, ever, ever pre-cooked our meat. So that's going to be ready to go in with our onions. Okay, while our onions are going, I'm going to season our meat. This is where we're going to put the black pepper, a teaspoon of dried parsley, and half a teaspoon of garlic. And let's see, by eye, say just over a teaspoon of salt. And again, by eye, teaspoon of paprika. This is sweet paprika. And that's all as far as seasoning for our meat. So our onions are starting to soften a little bit. We're getting fragrant. Now we're going to throw in our chopped up heart of the cabbage. Salt. As that's going, I'm going to make our sauce. Our sauce is really, really simple. So we're just going to open a jar of passata. And we're going to make this very, very runny, almost like a tomato juice runny. And the reason why we make that tomato juice runny is because we're not cooking the rice. So it will really starch, the tomato sauce juice will thicken right down. And if it starts out too thick, it's just too thick of a sauce. So I would say a full jar equivalent to the size of the passata. It smells so good. Onions and cabbage. teaspoon or so. Good teaspoon of salt. Pepper. And I forgot little pinch. Little pinch of sugar. We're going to drizzle a little bit of oil in there. That's it. That is our sauce. Nothing fancy. Nothing super seasoned. Pretty basic. That's all you need. So I have almost 5 cups here, which is almost 2 liters of sauce, and this is going to be poured over my cabbage rolls. Give that a taste. Perfect. Okay, so our onions and our cabbage have been nicely softened. So now we're going to add our rice. And remember I said the filling's not cooked, and that goes for the rice too. It's not cooked, but it is a little toasted, I would say, I would call it, with the onions and the cabbage. And what I do is I give it a little bit of a kickstart. So I'm going to season that a little bit with the same seasoning that's in our meat. Some pepper. I've already added salt. I'm not going to add more salt. And then some paprika. A little bit of garlic. I don't like to overuse garlic in my cabbage rolls, just a little bit. So the rice with the cabbage and the onions is getting quite flavorful. That paprika, you could smell it. It's turned the rice orange. So our cabbage rolls inside will have a nice color. A nice toast on it, and the heat is nice and high. It's on medium high. 1/4 cup of water just to start the cooking process of the rice. As I mentioned before, the onions have been sauteed with the cabbage. You can't even see the cabbage in this mixture. It's kind of melted right in, which is so nice and a great way to trick your kids. But it's not about tricking your kids. It's about really adding a lot of flavor in our cabbage rolls. So that's done, and we're going to let that somewhat cool. When that cools, we're going to add it to our ground pork mixture, and then we'll start rolling our cabbage rolls. mixture's cooled down a bit. Add it to our meat. Mix that in really well. This is where I like to get it with my hands. I'm just kind of old school. I just like my hands to do most of the work. And massage that in. This happens to be my favorite filling. The smells of all the seasonings together when they're cooked. Oh my gosh. And when I don't have enough leaves, I make little bowls and I cook them in the sauce and make kind of like mock cabbage rolls. Never waste any of this good stuff. It's so good. And that's it. So let's start rolling. This is the part that always gets everyone. Okay, always keep a little knife handy. What I like to do, there's always that core in the middle there, that hard piece. I just like to slit it down there, and if it's really, really hard, I just take it out. I make like a little V cut, and I take that out. And that really helps your cabbage rolls cook nicely. So we want to spoon out good amount of mixture into our cabbage roll. Okay, starting at the one end, and we're going to tuck and roll. Easy peasy. Get to the end, and we just push in the ends. And that's it. Seam side down, and away we go. My son has already come up into the kitchen and said, "Oh, Mom, you're making cabbage rolls." Well, obviously he hasn't had them all summer because it's just not something I make in the summer. And he was pretty darn excited. Like I said, these are going to be smaller. That's okay. They'll cook quicker. They still will cook about 3 hours on 300, maybe even 325, depending on how they're cooking. 3 hours with the sauce over top. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll all our cabbage rolls, then I'll top it with the sauce and we'll see you back. Okay, so we're all done rolling our cabbage rolls. My goodness. We're all done rolling our cabbage rolls and I got 20. So I split them up in 2 containers, and with our sauce that we mixed up, we're just going to carefully throw that over our cabbage rolls. You want them coated. So 20 is not a bad number to get from a batch of 1 head of cabbage. Really not that bad at all. So we got a lot of sauce here, but that's okay. Just throw it all in. So if you have a container here like I do with a lid, that's great. If not, you want to do parchment paper and foil and bake at 325 for about 3 hours. Then you're going to let them rest and enjoy. Hope you've enjoyed that recipe. I hope you guys give it a shot. Really not that hard, and yeah, I've whipped up my cabbage rolls today. Now I know I've been making cabbage rolls a long time. I whipped them up in about 45 minutes, so not even that time consuming. So hope you guys try that recipe, and if you do, give me a shout out, let me know how you made out, and yeah, look forward to making my next video. Talk to you later, bye.